remember me writing in the previous 106 rally video that I do not have a GTI registered on the road. I still don't, but I do have a GTI. I just needed to pass an MOT to get it registered, and I think it's time. To just quickly recap, I have had this, I think, almost a year. I have already done quite a bit of work. There is a playlist somewhere. I have done some rust repairs on the mounting points on the rear subframe. And then winter came and I just got busy and I haven't worked on it since. I do, however, have sourced the correct rims for it. They need to be restored also, because I really dislike the ones that are on it right now. But all I think it needs for an MOT is there's a squeaky suspension damper. It needs a new cam belt, it needs a regular service. The brakes need to be worked over and bled, and the rear light is disconnected. There's a lot of small stuff, but it's running, it's working. I don't think it's going to be too tough to get it through an MOT. Let's take a look at it. I believe the dampers are pretty shocking. I just checked the regular places that I get spare parts, and I cannot really seem to find shock absorbers for the Visa GTI, but I do have two spare ones from a non-GTI that could possibly be the same. The springs are not the same, but I think maybe the dampers are the same. So I hope to just be able to remove the dampers and put in the other used one that I have. So it's this bolt right in there that I need to undo. As you can see, it's rusty, so it's going to be interesting. An important thing is to notice that this is a lock nut, and this is the nut that it locks. So it's actually the inner one that I would like to loosen up just a little bit firstly, because if I try to loosen that one up, it will snap, I'm sure of it. And now there's not enough room for me to put this one on, and I doubt I will have enough leverage to do much with this one. So a trick is to make it longer using another one of these wrenches, like so. Like so. Yeah, it's moving. And now I think I can grab the inner one with this and loosen that up. Just, let's see. Yep, it's loose. Nice. All is not well though, because it is spinning inside the rubber bushing. It's stuck, it's fused together with that. Yeah, I think it's letting go. It's a really Citroen way of making stuff that's very weird and very prone to failure. I don't know if there's pressure on the suspension currently, so I'm just going to be a little bit careful. And I'm going to undo it at the tower, that way it would drop down. Oh, there we go. Now there is no pressure, so I can undo this entirely and remove it. There we go, it's down. I've forgotten how rusty this spring is. I think it's a pretty common issue for the bottom end of the spring retainer to actually come loose. So maybe it's a good thing to take this apart. So these are the spares that I have, but I don't think it's GTI springs at least. But I do hope that the shock absorbers are the same, or at least are usable, and I hope they are good, these. But firstly, I'm going to try to take this apart. And that's the tension off, so I can remove the top nut. If I'm lucky, I can just zip it off. Yep. There we go. So the offending part is this. I presume that is what's making that noise. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to want to go back into position or move, actually. I'm just going to take the other one I have apart. There we go. Yeah, this is better. Way better. I just need to make sure that it's the same length and all that as the GTI one. It's not. It's not at all the same. Not at all the same. Bummer. You can see the difference on the cup right there. It's different than that. And also the eye is different. Okay, I don't really have anything to lose because these could definitely be replaced. And I'm going to try to see if I can find some. It doesn't seem to be very available though. But it would be nice to find new one of these and new springs, but because the springs are also quite rusty. But I'm just gonna try a quick fix because I have nothing to lose. So I'm gonna try to loop this up. You're normally not supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure these are oil filled and not gas filled, so it doesn't need to rebound, as far as I know. It just needs to have a good resistance and get a little bit harder if you move it in and out fast. I really need to get rid of that noise, so I'm gonna loop the shaft up, and that could be a mistake because it could perish these seals. But I have nothing really to lose. Either it won't work or it will work, and then if it doesn't work, then I just have to hurry up with finding a new one. Yeah, well, it is actually moving now. And the noise is already away. It really did make a bad sound before. So this is maybe not that bad. I'm just gonna move it in and out. It is moving a bit in increments, which I do not like. It becomes harder when you move it in and out. So I actually think there is some dampening effect, but it is not perfect, that's for sure. But yeah, the noise is away. So I'm just gonna fit this back on, and I think it will be noise-free at least, and then I will try to find another one. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna take off the other side and see if I can do the same. So be back in a sec. And this is the left one. Currently very stuck and very noisy. So let's do the same. Loop it up. And hope I can make it be. Oh, that was pretty easy. So I'd say that is good enough already. Surprising that it was that little that did it. But the car is very light. I'm pretty sure it actually kept the suspension in position before. But it is a very light car. So I will be looking for a replacement of these, of course, because they are not perfect. It is working, but there is a bit of free play from time to time, I think. I'm gonna put that back on the car. With the struts back on the car, it is better. It is not noisy. And it's seeming it works decent, but it still feels a little bit stiff. It doesn't really return to exactly the same spot every time you push it down. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find some new ones. It is going to be a problem because they are no longer produced, but I seem to have found some aftermarket ones, but I'm gonna do my research before ordering anything. If anyone has some decent rear shocks, then write me a message. Maybe we could swap for a steering wheel. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna abandon this for now because I can't do much more about that. And what I want to do next is to just clean the trunk out. see what I have in here. I have went through that once before, but I have forgotten. There's a lot of extra stuff back here, and I would like to refit the seats and the trim and all that. So I will start that process now. But yeah, an extra steering wheel in case I find another Visa GTI in the future without a steering wheel, that is. And then there are these. I'm pretty sure it's not for a Visa. It looks more like BX trim maybe. Rubbers. An extra odometer, instrument cluster. More trim. And this is the trim for the rear parcel shelf. I'm just going to keep that close because I'm going to fit that realigned. And another side mirror. The front one is missing the mirror part of it. So an airflow meter. And then I bought a lot of stuff. The cam belt, including water pump. We're going to change that in the next video probably. And seats. And the trim piece for the other side. Slightly broken, unfortunately. I'm just going to start by fitting all the trim. And then we can work from there. But I think I'm going to call this a day and continue on it tomorrow. See you in a bit. One day later, the first thing I want to tackle is a bit of a weird one, to be honest. I need to fix the rear light, and as you can see, it's just lying there, one side of it, and the other side is currently gone because it is lying right here. The first issue is this, the connector. Copper paper thing is really wrecked. I hope to just be able to glue it in place and then use it. I am trying to source another one, to be honest, but the bigger issue is this. This is supposed to go into the lamp like this, but it's not possible because the clearance between the lamp and the metal right there is too little. I can't even get my fingernails behind it, and it needs to have this plastic bit behind it. This is because this is a repair. It's not my repair, but it's clearly been welded right there. The same on the other side, by the way. But on this side, unfortunately, the dimensions is not very good, and therefore I cannot fit the lamp. So what I really hope to do is to just remove the lamp now, and then with a hammer, just shape this a little bit until I can fit the lamp once again. So I'm going to try that. Oh yeah, and I don't know how much you can see right now, but another problem is the wiring. This car has had a trailer hitch at one point, and the wiring's a bit of a mess after that. So either I will try to find another wiring, or possibly just recreate a new one at some point. Maybe. We'll see. There we go. And then I will try to reshape this area. There we go. That's it. It fits. Now I just need to paint it because it did scrape a bit of the paint off. There we go. Next up it's this. This is the connector, and it's very French. There's a connector here and a connector here. This comes from the car, from the power source, and this one goes to the next lamp and also is grounded from here. What I need to do is to just glue them down so they are in place when I slide the connector over it. And then hopefully I will find another one for the future. And then I will fit it on the car with the connectors and all that. And then we'll see if it works. There should be some lights on now. I can check that. Yep, that's nice. Next up, it's the left blinker. Yep, and what about the right indicator? Yep, and what about the brake light? I can check that from here. Yep. And the number plate lights, I think everything works. That's nice. I am gonna leave this video here. The rear lights is now working. I have not fitted the rear seats because I found a small rust hole that I will have to attend to before doing that. But that will be for the next one. And the next one will also probably be the engine service, new cam belt and all that. So nice to be back at the Visa. I just checked the previous video. It's a year ago that I worked on this last time. This past year has just flown away. It's amazing. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.